What up, YouTube? This is JB4Year7. This is my first video on YouTube, and today I'm going to be talking about Fallout New Vegas for the Xbox 360. Um, I first heard about Fallout from my friend, and I thought it was kind of cool, so I figured I'd try it out. And I bought Fallout 3, and it was awesome. I mean, it was so fun. Just different in the same, how different and how alike it was with Oblivion, which is my favorite game of all time. Just captivated me. But the thing is, as soon as I bought New Vegas, I pretty much stopped playing Fallout 3 right away. So I think I'm like level 14, but I haven't played it since. But um, New Vegas is awesome. I mean, a lot of people didn't like the um, the, the landscape atmosphere of the desert. It was just all desert and the Mojave and all that. But I think it's kind of different. I mean, that's what it's really like. That's what it would really be like if that really happened, you know? So I think that's pretty sick. Um, just, uh, there's so much to do in this game. I mean, you can from just finding locations to battling creatures and random people you find in the desert to doing miscellaneous side quests and choosing your factions. There's the three main factions, which you have the NCR, which is the New California Republic, which I consider is the government in the game pretty much. You have Mr. House, which is the guy that runs New Vegas, and you have the Legion, which is the exact opposite of the NCR. And so you choose those three, but there's so many other factions. I mean, you have the Brotherhood of Steel, you have the White Glove Society, you have the Followers of the Apocalypse. I mean, those are just a few of the bigger ones, but there's so many. The difference between this and Fallout, or Fallout 3, is there's only a few. Um, graphics for the main part have stayed the same, which is kind of disappointing because there's a 2-year difference between the two games. Um, there's the True Iron Sights, which is new in New Vegas, which is something I really enjoyed. You can turn that off though if you want, but I don't know why you would unless you're a fucking faggot. um, I can't really say anything about the size between the two. All I know is that New Vegas is all the locations are kind of scrunched up in a square, so they're pretty much everything's kind of close to each other. There's so many locations. I think there's like 125 or something. Uh, Tons of weapons, armors, all kinds of shit. It's cool creatures. Um, Now, a few complaints I have with this game. One, um, well, this is what my experience anyway. So no one has to get all offended or anything. But and I noticed the higher in level I got, the higher chance or the more frequent bugs happen. Like the game would lag, crash. I would get stuck in bats, which is kind of stupid because you wouldn't be able to shoot, but you would get attacked and shit. Just kind of things like that. But a good way to solve that is just to install it into your Xbox. So yeah, that was a little problem for a while. Um, Another thing was uh, one thing that doesn't. It's kind of something personal for me. Is like there's so many in Fallout New Vegas, maybe more than Oblivion. I've noticed that there's so many different paths you can take. You can do this. You can choose these people or these people, and it affects anything you do so much. I always felt like if I did that, I was missing out on something else. So I mean, that's nothing wrong with the game. That's just how I felt about it. It got a little overwhelming at times. But other than that, there's not. Oh yeah, and the main story kind of pissed me off a little bit. Um, I did the independent New Vegas one where you kill Mr. House and then you're pretty much your own army of like Securitrons and stuff. Then you fight at the Hoover Dam, and I was just disappointed because one, uh, after you beat the game, uh, you can't play it again at all unless you have to revert a save from before the dam level. So that was kind of gay. And the thing that made it gay was right when you do that, there's a huge sequence of like videos and stuff of what happens after you beat the game, like what happens to certain towns, what happens to certain people and stuff. You know, it's like, oh really? Like you want to kind of go back and see what, like, play the game after those changes, but you can't do that. So that was a huge disappointment. Um, Probably the only reason I gave the game a 4.0 out of 5. Uh, Other than that, I mean, I really don't have too many problems. The first thing I had was I felt like the game was kind of like second to Oblivion. I felt like the creators of Fallout had kind of not took their time as much as the other developers did on Oblivion, because, like, you know, the graphics didn't improve much from 2 years ago. Um, the lag and stuff like that, and there's none of that in Oblivion. Oblivion is much larger, much larger. But that doesn't bother you because the game's so addicting, so fun. It's just ridiculous. But yeah. Other than that, I don't really have anything else to say about New Vegas. It's a crazy good game. I suggest buying it. I got mine. I think 17 bucks used, but it was pretty much brand new. Came with all the booklet and this case thing right here. Um, so yeah, I would definitely recommend paying it. I mean, if the game was still $50, I would probably still go out and buy it. It's a great game. So thanks for watching, and be sure to check out my next videos about the DLC.